Hey guys, today I'm going to show you Abseil technique on self-belay. I'd just like to note before we begin that as I'm not yet connected to the Abseil line, I'm connected to a safety line. So today we're going to be using a figure 8 device. This is a really simple device and easy to use. It's got a big circle and a small circle. Some people like to refer to this as a snowman with a body and a head. It's really important with this device that you can keep it connected at all times because the type of metal it is microfractures really easily. More than 2 metre drop and it's no longer safe to use. So this is really easy to do by just keeping it connected to the front of your harness with a beaner to the big circle, which makes it more convenient when you're ready to thread it. So to thread it, grab the Abseil line and bring it up from underneath, thread it up through the big circle and over the small circle. So your snowman should now be wearing a scarf. Then just unclip it from the beaner, clip and reclip into the smaller circle. And always remember to do it your beaner. You can check this by doing a quick squeeze test. And now you're ready to use it. Once you're finished, it's a reverse process. So just unclip, clip, and reclip. As you noticed, I mainly used the rope then to do that flipping. That's because once you finish abseiling, often the metal will get quite hot with the friction of the rope. So now that you've connected to the figure 8 device, you want to back up. Obviously we're not on a belay line anymore, so today we're going to be using prusik loops. This is a standard prusik loop. As you can see, it's got the fisherman's knot that connects the two ends together. This is the weak point in your rope, so you want to make sure that it's positioned correctly and not weight loaded on the Abseil line or beaner. The first one I'm going to introduce is a classic prusik. This one is attached before your figure 8 device, so you want to have the loop behind the rope, like so. And for this one you want the knot towards one end but slightly down from the loop. Now what you're going to do is you're going to grab that side and you're going to make a girth hitch by passing it across the Abseil line and through the other loop, and you want to do that 2 more times. Pull tight and neaten the knot. The classic prusik is multi-directional, but it can also sometimes be difficult to loosen once loaded. So now that you've got your knot, you want to make sure that it's working, so you just check it by pulling down that hard so that, and check to see if it locks under pressure, like so. And this one is attached to the front of your harness with a beaner. And always remember to do up your beaners. And that is your classic prusik. The next 2 knots are fairly similar, and these are attached below the descender through the leg loop of your harness. The first one is a clem heist. So again, we want the knot fairly down to one end, but instead we're using the other end, starting with the other end of the loop. Again, from behind the rope, you want to wrap it around. Several times. And then thread that bottom loop up to the top loop. And pull tight. And then connect it with a beaner through the leg loop and do it up. It's important with these 2 knots that you have it short enough that when it locks off it doesn't push up through and get caught in your Abseil device. And always remember to check it before going over the edge. The clem heist prusik goes only in one direction, but it can usually hold more weight than a classic prusik with more turns around the rope. The next knot is the French prusik, and this is almost identical to the clam heist, only instead of pulling up through the loop, you give it a couple more turns around the rope, and then just clip the beaner through those 2 loops, and then through your leg loop. Again, with more turns around the rope means greater friction. However, this can also mean that it's harder to push down when you're abseiling. So there you have your clam heist and French prusiks. Okay, so now that you've got your figure 8 device and your prusik connected, you're ready to abseil. But of course, before we go over the edge, we want to make sure we're doing a self-check. We call this self-check the HHCC check. The first H stands for helmet, so you want to make sure that it's sitting properly and tight on your head, that it's clipped up properly, and that it's tightened off so that you can fit a couple of fingers underneath, between your chin strap and your chin, and that it's not too tight. If you have long hair, make sure that it's tied up and out of the way of the abseil device. If for any reason you do need to take your helmet off to adjust it for any reason, make sure you're away from the edge of the clip and sitting down. The second H stands for harness, so you want to make sure that it's tight in your waist and won't slip over your hips, and that all buckles are closed, both for your waist and your leg straps. The first C stands for connected, so that's making sure you have your minimum 2 connections to the rope. For us, that's the figure 8 device and the classic prusik. And of course you want to make sure that all your beaners are done up, so just do a quick squeeze test. The last C stands for connections. So what you want to do is you want to line your body up with the rope, going up to your focal system, and from there out to your ankle points. And you want to make sure that everything seems in order, so all the beaners are done up, the ropes seem to be in order, and you're connected to the right one. So now we've done our self-check, we're ready to abseil. I'm just going to show you a quick body position. So what you want to have is you want to have your feet shoulder width apart, and you want to have your dominant hand acting as your brake hand, so it sits beside your hip, but able to rotate behind your back to brake. Your other hand slides down the prusik, and then you just slowly walk yourself backwards. Okay, so once you're over the edge, you want to make sure that your legs are perpendicular to the cliff, and that your knees are slightly bent, and that your body is parallel to the cliff. And then just continue making your way down. That's all for today. Thanks for watching.